Hello, my name is Norma Chawadi, and I am an EDSC 310, and I'm here to talk about Chapter 10 in Inclusion Strategies for Secondary Classrooms. The title of this chapter is focused on promoting factual mastery through mnemonic devices. What are mnemonic devices? Mnemonic devices are techniques a person can use to help them improve their ability to remember something. In other words, it's a memory technique that can help your brain better encode and recall important information. Why are mnemonics used? Generally, people learn information that is meaningful to them more easily than information that is not. Mnemonics make information more meaningful by adding associations and creating patterns. In addition, a proper mnemonic device helps organize important information to retrieve it later. By giving it associations and cues, mnemonics allow students to cross-reference the information in different parts of their memory. Mnemonics sometimes involves visualizations, narratives, or acronyms that help make the facts more vivid. This is especially helpful for students who are more visual learners. Also, it helps focus students' attention on material by making the learning more fun. In addition, concreteness promotes retention. Students are less likely to recall abstract information that they are not able to make sense of or is not meaningful to them. So the more they elaborate on concepts, the more fully they are able to encode them for later retrieval. So when are mnemonics devices used? Students must first know the basic facts of discipline and will use mnemonic devices to demonstrate mastery of discipline-specific knowledge. So for example, students first must learn the various trigonometric functions in geometry that can be used to solve right triangles before they are able to use the famous acronym SOHCAHTOA. The mnemonic for recalling sine as opposite over hypotenuse, cosine as adjacent over hypotenuse, and tangent as opposite over adjacent will have no meaning unless they first learn those trig ratios. In addition, mnemonic devices are used to recall factual information prior to engaging students in higher order thinking in the discipline. To elaborate more on the trig function example, students can later expand to learn more on finding missing angles. They can write reciprocal functions and various characteristics of trigonometric functions on graphs. In no way should mnemonic devices take place of learning and understanding. Mnemonic devices are the most effective when students use it to recall process. In the words of Dr. Tong Yu, one of the teachers I am observing in my fieldwork requirement, states, "Stay away from memorizing formulas, but understand how to arrive at the solution." Mnemonic devices are valuable tools for working with students with memory problems and students with exceptional learning needs. Mnemonic devices are effective when it is relevant to the student. In Chapter 3, in Those Who Can Teach, we learn about culturally responsive teaching approach in educating students. When teachers are able to provide special curricular accommodations to enhance retrieval of information, students will be more engaged in learning and will have a better time retrieving meaningful information. In addition, students are able to retrieve mnemonic devices later on to build on more complex concepts in that discipline. Whether it is visual, auditory, or an acronym, students with exceptional learning disabilities will benefit from the recode, relate, and retrieval of information associated with mnemonic devices. In Chapter 10 of Inclusion Strategies for Secondary Classrooms, two different kinds of mnemonics are mentioned, the first one being keyword mnemonics with narrative chains. So keyword mnemonics are memory strategies in which a keyword sounds like a target word and is matched to a visual image that connects the target and the keyword. When narrative chaining is added, a story is created that places keywords in a certain order to help recall multiple items. It works for students with special needs because memory is enhanced when information is visual or auditory. And based on the information, students are required to elaborate on materials that is made concrete and meaningful. Motivation is elevated by the playful nature of the strategies, and attention is increased when motivation is elevated. So in math classes, students often need to recall information in a certain order. In solving for the roots, solutions, zeros, or x-intercepts in a quadratic equation set to standard form, students can use the quadratic formula. The components of the quadratic formula are made meaningful using this keyword mnemonic with narrative chaining, so students can remember the order for substitution and associate cue words in a narrative to the key words in the equation. So this method of keyword mnemonics also helps promote the other intelligence mentioned by Gardner. Students who aren't always logical mathematically inclined may use the verbal linguistic intelligence. The second mnemonic mentioned is the musical mnemonics. It's another powerful tool that strengthens learning and memory. So studies have shown that students using the musical mnemonics outperform the control group. And this is a good memory strategy for students with disabilities because words are linked together with the melody, motivation is elevated by playful nature, and attention is increased. Students and teachers from Westerville South High School in Westerville, Ohio collaborated together to produce a musical mnemonic for math students learning how to solve systems of equations using the three methods: graphing, substitution, elimination. They used the original song All I Do Is Win by DJ Khaled, a popular hip-hop song from 2012, and created a parody to help students distinguish the best method for solving systems. The lyrics incorporate important vocabulary terms such as slope, intersection, one, infinitely many, or no solution, and tie it together with the catchy melody for students to use an effective mnemonic device. The lyrics in the song that I want to focus on is the line slants up and down, like lines with slope should go, so graph your first line, now graph the other one too. The intersection is your answer, that's all you gotta do. Sometimes lines are all the same, that's infinite solutions. Sometimes they never touch, no common points producing. So with those lyrics in this catchy song, students were able to get this video and use it I'm only going to play the first bit of the song. So with that video being shown, it also encourages students to have a fun way to remember their important mathematical concepts that they are learning in school.